Money Talks.
Money Talk.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Hi, my name is Ambrose Onyebuchi, President CFA Society Nigeria. Join me and a host of other financial industry practitioners for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks.
Money Talk.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is a financial literacy program and is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Captain Smart is my name. Today on the show, my guest is Ambrose Onyebuchi Udeaba. Ambrose is a talented and multitasking professional in securities trading, investment and asset management, investment banking and fixed income dealing. He is also a mutual funds expert, research analyst, youth investment coach, and consultant. Exceptional trades and investment execution acumen, asset portfolio management expert, excellent decision making in mutual funds management, issue resolution and relationship building skills in generational wealth creation, highly effective and efficient at maximizing business opportunities for close to a decade. That's 9+ years right now. Mr. Ambrose is presently the head of securities trading at Planet Capital Limited and is currently a PhD student specializing in money capital markets at the Nasarawa State University, Kefi. He holds an MSc in management from the University of Lagos and a BSc in management from the University of Nigeria. Ambrose Onyebuchi Udeaba is our guest on the program this evening, and we'll give them a rousing applause to welcome them. And Ambrose is not going to be an exception today. So Ambrose, this is for you. So Ambrose, that's for you. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening, Captain Smart.
Good. And this evening, we're going to be talking about recovering lost shares. And this is the second part of this conversation. I remember we have had this conversation before now, and Ambrose provided very insightful knowledge about that. So we felt he was so good, we'll have to bring him back to talk about this even the second time. So we can say, Ambrose, so good, we decided to bring him back. So Ambrose, congratulations to you and thank you for the insight you provided the last time you were here.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to have this conversation, the second part, recovering lost shares, part 2. So if you're there, you have shares, you have lost them, or you don't know how to go about recovering them. Perhaps you even want to buy shares. Ambrose is very well versed in that. He's going to be guiding us. Perhaps your parents left you shares. I don't know how to go about it. You can see some share certificates in your home, but you don't know what it translates to or what it means. You can call us on the telephone in just a moment when we open the phone lines, and that will be 0700 923 923 923, 0700 923 923 923, or you can just send us messages on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. That's 0817 313 6193, or record a voice note and send to us as well. Whatever that has to do with shares, you can ask us questions here. If you've lost it or you want to acquire more, you need an advice on how to go about it, Ambrose is here to guide us. So Ambrose, let's get the conversation started. How can an investor identify if they own shares that might have been forgotten? Because some persons own shares, they don't even know about it. So let's begin from there. How do you identify that?
Okay, thank you, Pastor Smart, once again. It's a pleasure for me to be on this program again. I want to thank you and also thank the listeners, those that participated in the first edition of this program. Yeah, the rest of your question, one of the ways to identify own shares that may have been forgotten is one, check for any investment records or documents. So some of us tend to have some old documents, either bank statements, either some receipt that was given to them when they bought the shares, 1 or 2 forms they fill. Okay, so usually people tend to have maybe in their bookshelf or some locations in their houses where they keep some information or even their emails. So the first step is check for any record, check for any document, okay? And if that did not work out, the second phase will be search for the unclaimed dividend database. So in Nigerian capital market, the access regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, they have a database, okay, on their website where you check for unclaimed dividends. Seeing your name appearing there will also, help the person to remember that, yes, I have investment in these companies or the other. Okay, so the first thing is check for your record, your document. If you didn't see any, search on the website of our access regulators, the unclaimed dividend, and then visit the registrar.
Okay, thank you very much. And Ambrose, are there specific timelines or perhaps deadlines for claiming lost shares, or is there a time that you will get to and they will say, oh, you wasted too much time from coming to claim these dividends and these shares, and so you have lost it, it's no longer available?
For shares, no, there's no timeline for claiming your lost shares. But for dividends, yes. So if your dividend is unclaimed for more than 10 years, okay, the law says that it goes back to the company. Okay, so if any dividend you have 10 years, some companies maybe 11, 12 years, but any dividend more than 10 years or 12 years, you may not be able to get them back.
Wow. Okay, so how then can investors locate shares that they inherited from their relatives who have passed? Sometimes some people invest in shares for their children, and sometimes they can die without letting the children. Maybe they died suddenly, they were not planning to die that early, they died, and they have this investment in shares for their children and their relatives. How can those investors now locate these inheritance that they have?
Okay, so for family members, relatives, that are deceased, so the living ones or those alive, what they need to do first is to gather information. You do that by talking to family members, okay, looking at the estate documents. Maybe some have wills, some may not have wills, but they have discussed with their wife or their friends. So information gathering is very, very important. And again, like I said before, looking out for old investment statements, documents, records, okay, trying to gather information any possible way you can within the house and then within the family circle.
Oh, wow. So if you don't have any document, you will not be able to have access to it.
Not true. So if you for a deceased person, you have been able to, maybe not able to gather some information from the family circle, okay, it now means you now need to come out, okay, like what I said initially. You can also as well visit the set unclaimed dividend database, okay. So use the name of the deceased person, search for unclaimed dividend. Once you find one or two, reach out to the registrar of the company or the company. As well, you can decide to visit, the registrar of any company you think or you suspect the deceased person may have invested or investment in. Then just visit them and they will assist the person to really find out if he or she has any investment with the company.
Oh, wow. In case you just joined us now, we're discussing recovering lost shares, and this is the second part. Ambrose Onyebuchi Udeaba is the guest on the program. Ambrose is a mutual funds expert. He's a research analyst and youth investment coach and consultant. He's able to answer your questions around this area. If you have any questions about shares, you lost your shares, or your parents bequeathed their shares to you, but you don't know how to lay claims to them, you can ask us questions right here. You can call us on the telephone 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923, or you can send us messages on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. You can also record a voice note and send to us to the number if you want to get in touch with us right here.
Good afternoon, Captain Smart. Good evening. Good evening, the guest in the studio also. Yeah, my name is Ndubisi Gospel, speaking from Lagos Island right now. Please, I need a guidance about this loss of share, another thing about the share actually. So some years ago, I bought a share in Fidelity Bank. So at the time, they started giving me dividends, but some years back, I've not been receiving that dividends. I've not been receiving it now for over 3 to 4 years now. I've not been receiving it. But normally, when I just got the share new, they used to bring, anytime they share their dividends, they used to bring it to me. But for over 3 or 4 years now, I've not been seeing it. So what can I do? But I still have my certificate, my share certificate. I still have it with me. So, sir, what can I do? So I want to know, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Ambrose, I hope you heard him there.
I didn't get the full question. Please just recap for me.
Okay, I'll recap for you. Let's also speak to this caller. Hello, good evening to you. Okay, you can call us back in case you are still listening. He said he bought shares in a particular bank and he was receiving dividends from them yearly, but for the past 3 to 4 years, they had stopped sending him the dividends. He wanted to know why that is.
Okay, so what you need to do is to visit the company's registrar. Okay, or visit the company, whichever that is closer to him. But the best place to go to is the registrar. I think maybe you need to update his records, his information. So let him visit the company's registrar, ask them what happened, and then update his record, and he will continue receiving his dividend. He will as well receive the ones that are supposed to have received that he did not receive.
Okay, so it's not lost. Hello, good evening to you.
Okay, thank God. Good evening, Captain Smart. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so this is James Obona from Oshodi.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for bringing his Ambrose back again. I have 2 questions. I remember the last time he came, I asked a question, but I was not really satisfied with the answer. How can you claim, for instance, have I lost the money? There's a time we bought shares on AIT, and then it was 4 naira per share. But at the time they said the shares is no longer in the market, and I think it was less than 50 kobo per share, which means that we've lost about 3 naira 50 kobo, and up till today we didn't get anything again. So does that mean that all those money we invested in, since they're no longer in the stock exchange, that all those money is gone, and since their shares is now undervalued? That's number 1. Then number 2, how long does it take to get the share certificate? Because I have not yet gotten from the 3 banks I invested. I've not gotten a certificate from any of them, so I don't know how long it takes.
All right.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Ambrose, note that. We have another caller. Hello, good evening. Oh, sorry, we lost that one. You can call us back in case you can hear us. So Ambrose, you can take to those 2 questions. Before then, okay, hold on. There's one more.
Thank you so much for the question.
Ambrose, one more, please, Ambrose. Ambrose, one more. There's one coming in here. This person is listening from the UK, and he says, I bought shares from Dark Communications through First Registrars, but over 10 years, no dividend has been paid to me. They say no profit yet, but they keep expanding. So that's number 3 question now, and then we'll have a caller. Oh, we lost this call. Okay, you can answer these questions before we take more calls.
Okay, so for the shares you have bought, if you bought your shares the issue is that the prices or the value of the share may decrease or increase as a result of the activities in the market, in the secondary market. But one thing is certain, that your investment is not lost. Approach the company registrar and reconcile your information with them, update your record. If the company has declared dividend previously that you are not paid, you will be paid. So first thing you need to do is approach the registrar. Go to the registrar and lay your complaint to them. They will attend to you. Secondly, share certificates in this time and age for the Nigerian capital market is no longer with importance. Or companies do not issue share certificates again. The reason is simple. Everything is digitalized now. You cannot invest in any company now without having a stockbroking or investment trading account. And that account has your information. So once that is done, your shares will be allotted into your account. So you will not have the electronic account statement just like you do in your bank statement. So most of these registrars, most of the stockbroking, and even in the capital market, the central body that holds all the securities in the capital market has also a website where you can log in, check your shares, stock positions, the price, the units you have. So for the share certificate, my brother, I will advise you approach the registrar to get further information. But there will be no certificate that will be given to you, but rather a statement of account which shows your investment will be issued or given to you. And then a possible the account where these investments are for you to be able to trade them anytime you wish to.
Okay, the other question.
Brother that is in the Canada, I think what you need to do is email the registrar. They will update you. But he also provided answer to his question. If the company has not made money, they won't pay dividends. So dividends are paid from the profit of the company. So at times, they may make money and they may have some reserve for possible expansion. So as the company expands more, the shares are expected to have more value. And then when they actually start making more money, the shareholders will have more dividends.
But he says here that the company keeps expanding and they're not paying any dividends.
Exactly. So the company keeps expanding, okay? The expansion may be maybe from the profit, okay? But the issue of dividend is not 100% assured, okay? Of course, there's always AGM, annual general meeting, where investors or shareholders will vote whether they want dividends to be paid or not. Okay, so if the shareholders vote that they don't want dividend, but rather the expansion plan of the company as presented by the management of the company is well accepted and adopted by the shareholders, I think the company has not done any wrong.
Okay. In case you just joined us now, it's Money Talks, brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. It's a financial literacy program. Captain Smart is my name. Ambrose Udeaba is our guest on the program. Recovering lost shares. This is the second part of the program that we're doing in as many weeks. You can call us on the telephone 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923, or send messages to us on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. Ambrose, it's clear from the questions we have received so far, people actually lost track of their shares in the times past. So how can we avoid a scenario where investors will lose track of their shares in the future?
There are different ways to do that. One is regular information or record update and upgrade. So you must ensure that at every point in time, you update your information if there are major changes in your information. Okay, always ensure that you are in contact with the company registrar, with your stockbrokers, and again, organize or consolidate all your investment accounts. So it's always advisable you have just one or two investment accounts so that you know the stockbroking firm or the house that you are dealing with, and then inform beneficiaries.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
Ambrose.
evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the program. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah. This is Dr. Goodman calling from Olodia, Papa, sir.
Quickly, use 30 seconds and talk to us.
Yeah, please, I bought share with UBA for myself and my children. And up to now, I never get the dividend, mostly from my children own. And I gave a feature view this thing to hold this thing for me. And because of the condition I'm having, all the way from here, I've been to Jibowu, where they directed me where this thing is. Up to now, I never get anything from them. If I reach there, they will give me a form to fill, sign signature, do this. And they up to now, I never see anything from them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just hold on. He will answer the question. Hello, good evening. 0700-923-923-923, the number that you can call or send us messages on WhatsApp. 0817-313-6193. So, Ambrose, the last question, you want to provide an answer?
Yes, so like you said, I will also encourage him to reach out to the UBA registrar, which is the Africa Prudential Registrar. So reach out to them. You can send them email, okay, and then follow up with your stockbroker, which he has mentioned their name. Okay, I think maybe the information you are providing does not align with what they have in their own record. But that does not mean you will not get your dividend anytime you are able to prove that these shares actually belong to you and your children. However, if your children at the time you bought these shares are minors, but now they are adults, I think they should be the one that will do it themselves. Or if you start the process, if you get to a point where their presence or death will be needed, okay, for some maybe interrogations and then providing other documents. So if your children are above 18, sir, I will advise anytime you are going there, go with them.
All right. Okay, Ambrose, you said that companies no longer issue share certificates now. Everything is now digital. But if investors, people who invested in the past, if they no longer have the original share certificate or evidence of ownership, what should they do?
So if they do not have the share certificate, the first place to go to is CSCS, where they cannot remember the registrar of the company or the name of the company. But if they can remember the name of the company, they can approach the company and the company will tell them who their registrar are. However, they can walk into the Nigerian Stock Exchange building. CSCS is located there. They will fill some form and their shares will be searched for them. They can do that themselves. They can do that through stockbroking house or investment house.
And somebody saying here, God bless the caller from the UK, the person who sent a message from the UK concerning Dark Communications shares. The person says, is the same Dark Communications shares that I bought through First Registrars at 4 naira per share at that time, and when they were no longer in the market, their shares fell to around 40 kobo. They said they are no longer in the market. We didn't get any dividend and our capital is also lost. Nobody is talking about their shares again. So those people who invested, is it that they have lost their money?
Okay, so let me just throw more light on that communication. That communication shares are still active on the market, it's trading. Yes, they are right. You know, the prices from what they did in the public offering to at a point it got to 20 kobo, 25 kobo. But I think now it's around above 50 kobo. So it recovered some time. There was a time it was close to 1 naira, and then you know these prices in the secondary market is actually determined by the forces of market, or what we call market forces, you know, supply and demand, and then the performance of the company. Like they said, if the company is not paying dividend and they are doing expansion, so investors will take different interpretations to that. Some may want to buy, so some may want to sell. But one thing I want to assure them in this is that their communication shares, let them reach out to the registrar. They will see their unit and they will know the current value.
All right, Ambrose, as we wrap up the program this evening, are there digital tools or platforms available to help track and reclaim lost shares? Because that's the main crux of this program tonight.
Yeah, so for lost shares, they can visit the company. If they remember the company, they can visit the company's website or the registrar. But the easiest way to do that is using the SEC unclaimed dividend database. Okay, SEC website, you see unclaimed dividend. You just put in the name, your name or the person's name. It shows you their number or the amount of unclaimed dividend the person has. So from there, you will now have an idea of the company. So it's not just the unclaimed dividend. It will tell you, for instance, that communication, you have 45 naira or 1 million naira unclaimed dividend. So from that point, you know that you have unclaimed shares or dividend on that communication and other companies. So that alone can actually enable the investor to start the journey, because that database can show one or two, okay, in terms of dividend. But if there are companies that are not paying dividend, it may not be there. But that alone will help the person to start the journey. So the first point of call is the SEC unclaimed dividend database.
All right, and it looks like everything one has to do as far as shares are concerned, you have to go to the registrars.
Yes, so because of their function, registrars, they keep the record of the shareholders of companies. And for every listed company, the basic requirement first is that it must have a registrar. Again, the stockbrokers also interface between the registrars, the investors, and then the Nigerian Stock Exchange and other key players in the market.
All right, Ambrose Onyebuchi Udeaba has been my guest on the program this evening, and we've been talking about recovering lost shares. The second part, I hope we don't have a third part. It's worth having a third part, actually. Ambrose is the head of securities trading at Planet Capital Limited and is currently a PhD student specializing in money capital markets at the Nasarawa State University in Kefi. Ambrose Udeaba, thank you so much for your time on Money Talks this evening.
Thank you, Pastor Mark.
Absolutely, and that's how we're going to wrap it up this evening on Money Talks. Thank you so much for listening. Join us again next time. Till then, keep making finance a force for good. Captain Smart is my name. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Money Talks, hosted by the CFA Society Nigeria. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube at CFA Society Nigeria. Follow us for more financial insight and updates. Keep a date with us next time.